find out very soon, Jonathan. Summit Gaming, they're going to have a bit of a think about this third pickup here. Maybe just wanting the DP themselves once again, but they won't have the opportunity. Appreciate Neon Esports just going for the DP pickup, just deny it away from Summit, because clearly they felt quite comfortable with these picks. Instead, they're going to go down the Shadow Demon route. A very interesting setup for a draft here, because you've got two supports now that, well, they don't necessarily initiate. Like maybe SD pos 4, you can run in, get a disruption off and set up that way with the follow-up of the DK, but overall, this is not a support duo that likes to roam around and set up team fights. Unless we're about to see maybe another setup with the disruption, and I suppose we do.
Whoa.
CK comes out. You got the classic SD CK combo now going for Summit. Neon Esports, naturally, they will go right back into the puck. What are you thinking about these, John? How do you feel about these drafts so far?
I think Summit's just going for that triple durable core once more. DK, CK, both very durable with a Warlock to back them up. You've got great illusion spam here from the side of Summit with Shadow Demon plus Chaos Knight, so it's not just Phantasm illusions you have to deal with. The Shadow Demon illusions are also pretty good. I think you have enough catch to catch something like the puck. Disruption into Dragon Tail or just straight up Dragon Tail with a blink is what you're going to be doing here for the side of Summit. And I think Neon's got to bring something special out on their safe lane. So I'm keen to see what they bring out for Fortune Soul here to deal with that CK, give them a little bit more output. I think my one concern for Neon, Mike, is just going back to Tiny. I mean, Chuan had a decent time. He had a good blink timing coming through. He was really aggressive. But it does feel like towards the late game, your Tiny's not really going to burst the DK or CK. Right? Like these are two tanky cores that don't really care for Avalanche Toss. Once they have a couple of strength items up, once they have BKB, you even have the Shadow Demon who can save. So if you don't catch the Shadow Demon out, say jump the Warlock, SD might be able to just turn that around, get disruption, buy enough time, and get the chorus on top. So yeah. I'm not sure what Neon wants, because they don't have like strong combinations to play with their Grimstroke. Right? Offlane DP, double Spirit Siphon is okay. Double Toss isn't really amazing. And I don't see any pause when it can kind of tie that in. So I feel like you have a pretty good time once more in Summit. Maybe Neon plays a pacing game. I mean, DP push is pretty good. I'd say slightly faster than DK push, although longer downtime with Exorcism's cooldown. You could maybe tie that in with something like a Juggernaut, which isn't the best here against Shadow Demon, because Omnislash hates disruption. Omnislash doesn't enjoy illusion spam from the CK, but you do get that Jug Grimstroke lane, so you can just spin and Inkswell, kind of win the lane out, depending on what offlane Summit gets, and just kind of try to play quicker with the Jug, go for a Maelstrom build, group up, play with the healing, and push down, I guess.
All right, well, final ban-outs to come. Neon.
Oh, they ban it.
They do. One more ban to go here from Neon before we get to see these drafts finish off. It seems like, for now, they've been focusing on the offlane. They'll get rid of the Void as well, so maybe an offlane Void is what they were expecting to come out. I imagine they are just going to go with the mid DK anyway, so mid DK versus the puck. No, never mind, they are going to go Leshrac. So a very interesting kind of draft here, because you can flex every lane, really, if you want to. Any of these heroes can go into any lane in terms of the cores here for Summit Gaming. Though if you were to take a guess, you'd say offlane DK, safe lane CK, and then you'd say mid Leshrac. But it really can go any way, and what I like about the Lesh here, John, is it replaces the DP in some sense. It's still a hero that loves to chase you down with all these AoE abilities and all these AoE nukes, and as well as that, it has Diabolic Edict to rip through the towers, so if you fall behind in the laning stage, you're kind of screwed as Neon. And like we saw last game, if you lose a big team fight into Roshan, you're probably also going to get run down here by Summit. They go for a POS 1 Bloodseeker. I don't like it. I don't like it.
I mean, I was saying they didn't have combinations with Soulbind, Mike. I think they go a bit too far. Double Rupture is there. Rupture Tossback is there. Once Chuan has Blink, that can be nice. It is percent-based damage up against Strength Chorus.
Okay.
So that does give you rolling damage to maybe try to jump that DK and the CK, melt them down. I don't know. It feels like they do have to play a fairly quick pace here on Ian. We have seen Bloodseeker work out before. I think if you hit a good Maelstrom timing, you can be number one in that word fairly easily if you do manage to get space out. So we'll have to see it. I think a lot in this game depends on the laning phase, much more so for Neon than anything else. If they don't manage to find that strong start in laning, you're asking a lot from your Bloodseeker to scale the same way DK and CK can. Now, mind you, I need to caveat this with the fact that Bloodseeker Shards is pretty busted against HP, high HP heroes because of that percent-based damage. He will lifesteal it back. He can sustain through these fights with just Maelstrom, maybe a Sanj and Yasha plus Shards. And a Basher on top, then you feel pretty good in that Bloodseeker with a BKB. So it doesn't drop off a cliff, but Fortune Soul will have to find a way to weave in and out, and they need to find a way on Neon to hit some early blink timings here, especially in Chuan, and just group up, play with that push from Enryu, shut down the map a lot quicker to prevent Summit from farming.
No, I certainly agree with you on that. Like, that's the one saving grace here with the Bloodseeker is you do have double rupture, but well, like you said, you do have the shards build up as well, and that does do very well against the tankier heroes. Do I like it though? Not really, but we have seen POS 1 Bloodseekers work out, and you can kind of understand why they drafted the POS 1 Bloodseeker here. Let's see how it goes. I mean, it's definitely a much more aggressive kind of POS 1 to have. Does it need farm? Yes. Does it need a farming tool? Yes. But there is some bright side to this pick. So we'll see if Neon can even out this series 1-1 as we do head into game number 2 and hope to God that we don't have any lag going into it. And for now, we don't. Good news, Jonathan.
Beautiful. Looks like it's sorted itself out, Mikey. Always good to hear. I am keen to see how Neon plays. I think after that game, I mean, mentally, it's kind of hard to bounce back from that kind of game. It's pretty tough. They do get a smoke break, though. And smoke pops. Enryu could see them, but doesn't quite, I don't think.
They saw the tree go down thanks to Enryu. Enryu did not see them, however. Instead, they'll hold the high ground. This is a great position for Summit. All they've really got to do is be very patient. Avatar, he's going to run right into them. Can they get the stun off? Oh, they definitely should be able to. No problems here. There's Neon. I mean, last game around, they got First Blood on Avatar mode, and this game around, they give First Blood away with Avatar mode. Terrible start. In fact, now Chuan's going to show up. Oh, what's this? Neon, you've got to get the hell out of there. Chuan, he's going to get stunned up. Mercury's right behind him. CZY's got a disruption in 3 seconds. Maybe with this they can at least get all the rest of the bounty runes, but it's still going to be a lot of gold going to the way of Summit, as they've got another. Avalanche is out, but it will not matter. And even then, John, they haven't got all the bounties. They lost one, they're going to lose 2. It's still an even trade of the bounty runes, but they give 2 kills away before the game even starts.
Yeah, that's not feeling good for Neon. They clump up, they don't respect the vision game early on there from the side of Summit. They do manage to get a D ward on the cliff. They clear out that mid vision, but you still have that great vision watching down bot, and that's a great start for some. They set themselves up. They're going to have a nice smooth ramp up on their CK, on their Lesh. I think for the side of Neon, they have to be careful. Like, looking at those side lanes right now, bot lane for Summit is pretty damn good. You can actually be aggressive in this Warlock lane. You've got a good stun come through from Unknown. You've got good damage. Of course, Enryu is durable on the DP once he hits level 3, but before that point, we've seen the DP suffer in lane. I think that's something Neon has to be extra cautious about. You're already seeing Chuan just go for the creep pulse. They know they have to play this greedy. Just try to get levels and try not to bleed out too much after that kind of rough exchange.
Oh, absolutely. Nice little blocks there by Chuan. Just make his rotation over behind the tier 1 tower, and looks like he should be able to get away with getting level 2, but never mind. Enryu might just take the creep wave he's dragged over. Chuan maybe playing a little bit more sacrificial than he'd like right now, but there's no real choice in the matter. Enryu is going to need his own XP and farm as well, so Chuan, well, off you go. So no soaking XP either. Life of a POS 4, right? You just, no soaking XP, pull my damn creep wave, then leave me the hell alone. It's Trezam now going to say hello to Chuan, and well, the Tiny's going to have a bit of a rough time getting the second one, I think, as there might be another kill coming here, John. If he tries for this creep wave, he's probably going to die. He'll wrap around the long wave, but he's already missed the creep wave. He's going to back out of here. He can't go for it. One stun from the CK, you are gone.
Yeah, and that's not a good feeling for Chuan. I mean, you need levels in the Tiny. You need that blink up. It's not going to be finding it quick. Enryu at least pulls off the creep wave himself. Again, all that EXP is going to him. Chuan's not going to be getting a shred of it. Will give us a chance to maybe look at the other lanes while, going away from Chuan, suffering down mid. Mercury up against Avatar mode. It's looking fairly good for Avatar. His puck is off to a better start here. The Leshrac can kind of struggle. You know, Puck can kind of poke and prod from a long way away. Costs you a lot of mana on Mercury to kind of get some harassment back with Lightning Storm. Rune control, it's much more important for both sides. And that's where I think Mercury can't allow the Puck to keep getting everything. Like, the next Water Rune is going to be fine, but the Power Rune, you should definitely not allow Avatar Mode to have. Keen to see whether or not Summit will kind of involve the supports early on to enable that for Mercury.
That's a good point, John, because it kind of goes back to the draft, right? And the supports of Summit, they aren't the greatest at rotating and securing power runes. Like, I'd say the Shadow Demon's okay because you can disrupt the Puck and maybe steal it away from her, but apart from that, CZY, he's going to find a courier while he's up here. But like I said, John, apart from that, with the support duo of Summit, they might struggle to secure those power runes for their Leshrac. I suppose only time's going to tell, and while we do have some time, let's talk about the top lane. Fortune Soul and Say going to be against Crush here on the DK. You're also going to have the support of CZY around, who just came back from taking the banner rune away from Neon. And this is that style of lane where, if you are Neon, there's not really much you can do to slow down Crush.
Yeah, you can't really slow down Crush, but they can't really slow down Fortune Soul either. So the Bloodseeker should be free to farm up, build into the early items you'd want. Phase Boots right now for Fortune Soul lined up. It is still a rougher lane for Fortune Soul in comparison. Like, they can try to be aggressive, it just doesn't matter. Dragon Tail out, they can't keep the chase. So your Inkswell combo falls flat, and Crush does farm well. And what's that? Dragon Tail down the line once you have Breed Fire. Fortune Soul, it's not going to be able to see us. The wheels are spinning, Mike, but they're spinning pretty hard now.
Oh, I don't want to hear any excuses from you, Jonathan. I don't want to hear it. Mid lane, Mercury getting low, but bot lane, Chuan ends up going down, and it seems like he was probably trying to go for another pull, but this time does get caught with his pants down. Meanwhile, CZY has rotated into the mid lane as the Shadow Demon, but it's like he's just making sure Mercury can get this water rune, because there is a bit of a struggle right now against Avatar Mode. He's doing a very good job on the Puck right now, CSing and just harassing the crap out of Mercury. And this is why I thought they might go for the mid DK versus the mid Puck. Because as the Leshrac, you just aren't going to have a good time against the Puck, but I suppose pops to Mercury, who is still surviving, but not for long. Chuan's going to move in. Avalanche does connect. The tossback is there, though he does eat a Fairy Fire and try to survive, and Shazam will get the Shadow Word off, so now Mercury is going to try and turn right back around onto Chuan with the Diabolic Edict, but the Creep Wave is going to be there to tank some of that damage. So Chuan, he doesn't really get the kill he wanted. He does get away with his life intact. We'll see if he returns for the power rune timing. That's what's going to be important.
Yep, just going to have to ensure Avatar Mode picks that up. Does have the early level 6 up. So you do have Dragon Coil, Dream Coil, Dragon Coil. Dream Coil already up a little bit earlier. You can get the toss out. I have no idea how he went to Dragon Coil. I was stuck on Dragon Tail.
Dragon Coil.
And it just...
Don't give Icefrog any ideas, John.
It's a fairy.
Don't
imagine that, though. Dragon Coil?
Yeah. No.
Let's have a hero like that, Icefrog. Like a Puck DK combination. All in one. Perfect mid laner. That's all you need.
Yeah. Why not? A Dragon Coil just locks them down and stuns them for 4 seconds. Why the hell not? Chuan, toss back onto Enryu. Shazam, he's going to be in a spotter bottle, but he's fine. Instead, mid lane is where all the action happens, as Avatar Mode is able to secure a kill onto Mercury this time around. So his first kill of the game on the Puck. That was the Dream Coil being committed, but it's well worth it. And I believe you had the support there of our Grimstroke Say, who is going to try and chase down CZY now. The Inkswell, not going to be in range. Barely out of range here for Say, as now CZY. Level 2 Shadow Poison's up, so he's going to go for a bit of a chase, but ultimately not going to be able to secure any kind of kill. With that, it's still a pretty decent position for Summit, who do hold a very slight net worth lead. And top. Uh-oh. Fortune Soul. He's going to drop Mercury with a very nice rotation right after dying. Does secure the Pos 1 Bloodseeker, and well, he has level 3 Diabolic Edict right now, John. Just wait for it to come off cooldown, and that's a top tier 1 tower gone.
Yep. Dragon form already up on Crush. Doesn't take too long to clear out this objective. Avatar Mode will show up to kind of slow that process down. He is in a spot of danger if he's not careful either.
Now the Lesh is in the spot of danger here, John. Inkswell's going to land. Avatar Mode going to come in with the Dream Coil as well. Fortune Soul trying to fight. We'll get him down as now the DK still trying to run around, but Crush, he's just going to be so slow compared to Fortune Soul. Problem is, Fortune Soul, he's just not going to bother. It's still a Dragonite at the end of the day. He won't chase the DK down, but the aggression from the Leshrac doesn't really end up paying off for him.
No, but it is buying space out. It drags so many heroes up top, freeing up the bot lane here for Unknown to farm up. Our CK still well ahead of Fortune Soul. So even if you do save your Bloodseeker from a second death, he is not finding farm. And this is where it gets scary for the Bloodseeker. He doesn't flash farm all too fast. He can play in the jungle all right with the Blood Right, but you don't tend to max it out until later on. So that's giving a clear path for Unknown to just take over, hit the earlier armlet timing, run around, be tanky, maybe work onto Blink BKB afterwards, and just be a menace. Like, you are sacrificing Mercury's farm to get that done, but even Mercury's not lagging too far behind. He's got some good stacks here in the triangle. No one scouted this out. Doesn't take too long for Lesh to find all that flash farm.
Yeah, it's a real shame from Neon, right? Like, you really want to scout out these stacks being made, slow down the Lesh track as much as possible, especially considering how rough of a laning stage Mercury's had, but now second in net worth, actually overtaking the puck. Zavatama is trying to set up for a kill here. Crush, gonna be ruptured up, and there's your coil being committed. It's still a very tanky DK though. But eventually they'll take him down, surely. Is Crush, Disruption's gonna save? Have they actually got him? No!
Oh my god.
No, they don't!
Oh, Mike, they missed the Inkswell the first time around. He managed to walk out while still in the Dream Coil, lacking that extra stun, lacking that extra magic damage. It's enough. Crush just lives. Great timing out from the Disruption coming through from CZY. And again, all the time Neon spending up top, it's not amounting to anything. This is so much free space on bot, on mid for even the Warlock to soak some EXP towards that level 6. Neon has to find something for this aggression. They might lose their bot here.
They may. Bot lane. Enryu. Yeah, he's just going to drop Mercury with another nice rotation here on the left track. And immediately, of course, after you get that kill, you set up onto the bottom tier 1 tower. Mercury, he won't finish it off, but he could just come back if he really wants in 10 seconds for the next Diabolic Edict. It won't matter too much for him. I think he may just do that. As for the Arcane Boots, can just go back now with the Diabolic. Or he could just alternatively hit it. The T1 tower's about to drop anyway. They might just leave it for now instead.
I think just having an objective that Neon might have to defend online, might have to make that choice on, is actually pretty risky. Enryu still goes down to play that bot lane. Chuan is forced to kind of hang around there. So now they free up the top a little bit more. Crush is still finding that build-up, though, on that DK. You are at the point where Fortune Soul is now just jungling, still working towards on the Maelstrom, but it's comfy enough with the first levels that he can sustain. It's just not the quickest process. And I think Summit, again, realizing that there are gaps up here in the defense, are looking to force him top once more. They drag an Unknown Phantasm ready. It's only the Grimstroke, and he's forced to TP out. You're not going to bother with his top tier 1 no longer.
No, he throws out a Stroke of Fate, but realizes he has to get out before they just go kill him. And so to be maybe a bit of a trade here is that you have popped the Exorcism from Enryu down a bot. He's going to try for the trade, but the problem is you can defend the bot tier 1 if you want to. There's still plenty of time to rotate down if someone do wish to do so. It just doesn't seem like they really care, John, because mid lane, Mercury, he's going to start to push out. Rupture is committed. Avatar, he does have Dream Coil if he needs it. Mercury, though, is going to be healed up. CZY right nearby with the Disruption if necessary. And so you commit the Rupture, but now Summit, they could just go back into the mid lane.
They've got the opportunity to get a nice push. There is Fortified to defend from Neon. They could try to play, but
Crush. Gonna land on the Grimstroke. Split Earth is there as well. The Inkswell, it won't land, and will eventually say he's just gonna drop. Nothing he can do about it. He will at least soulbind before he goes down, but that's not really gonna set up anything here for Neon. They are TPing more heroes down. They've even got Chuan coming in from the back, but he's low on mana. He's gonna Soul Ring up at the least, so he should have enough for his combo. Problem is, how do you initiate? You have Dream Coil, but into the whole stack of Summit, it does not seem like a good idea. And you'd be fighting into Fatal Bonds and Golem from Trezam. Hell, they might need to anyway, though. A 5-man smoke here from Summit. It was not scouted out, and Fortune Soul, well, he's barely avoided them for now, but if they run down south, they're going to find the Bloodseeker.
Oh,
no blink available on Crush, but I don't think he needs it here. Oh, he's been perched up. Oh, no. Come on.
Oh, man.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
The creep purged him.
Yeah. That is just, I don't know what to say. It's, you know, sometimes you see something happen and you know it's Ice Frog's chosen son. This is definitely Ice Frog signaling he doesn't favor Fortune Soul today.
No.
Unfortunate Soul, more than likely, as Neon will go for the smoke play
That's
themselves.
terrible.
You don't need to laugh, Mike. Yeah, I know it's terrible. They smoke after trying something mid.
Mercury, he's in trouble. Nice Scream call out. Siphon's there as well, but a big golem drop. In fact, they haven't got the Leshrac yet. Disruption's out in time, and now the turnaround with Fatal Bonds and the Pulse Nova, John. It's a lot of damage to be split up between the three. Say, he might get denied by the neutrals, or maybe not. Mercury will take him with the Lightning Storm. It's just so rough. You can't kill the Leshrac and then the turnaround with the Golden Fatal Bonds. They're lucky they only lost the POS 5. Have they all got stuck up? It's rough.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, you take what you can get. You sacrifice your support for a lot of drops and just play it safe. Fortune, he does notice danger there. The scan does spot the movement of the Summit out, but is still hanging around. Another smoke out though. Summit just looking to constantly be aggressive here.
Why not? They know they've got a decent lead. This is the power spike of their draft, and last game around they missed their spike and still won, John. This time around they've hit their spike and they're going to move right in. Though Say, he does get a Soulbind and a double silence out in time, and Enryu, he's got the ulti popped. It's going to be a fair bit of damage going into the way of the Leshrac. His ears dropping and does go down. Now they can go for more. Neon, they'll find another, but here comes the cavalry. Chuan in a bit of trouble, but a nice Dream Coil. Going to hold down the CK. Have they gone too far here, Summit? It does seem like they have it. Unknown. He's going to keep trying to fight an Armlet Toggling the best he can, but he can't survive. A 4-man wipe here from Neon. They'll try to find the 5th, but Crush, a little bit too tanky on the Dragon Knight. Nonetheless, though, if you're Neon, you're going to be very happy with that fight.
You get a bit keen on Summit. They don't manage to get the jump they want. Great silences to break the Leshrac from getting the chain stuns, kill off the Grimstroke. And that's more than enough to turn that opportunity around for Neon. Summit, I don't know if they'll really mind too much. They've got the blink up on Crush, so they could start these fights a hell lot better now. Get some follow-through stuns going a lot quicker, and just have better initiation angles. And another smoke out from Summit, just non-stop. 3 smokes back-to-back here, Mike.
Absolutely. I mean, last one doesn't work, just try again. And we go bot lane. Oh, Fortune Soul. This is generally a safe place to farm, but you haven't got a bottom tier 1 tower here for the BS. So this Bloodseeker, he's just going to get caught out like this, and there's no way they can rotate to help him out. He's just eventually going to tick out, I think, in the tree line. He'll try to juke, but can't do it. And that's the thing. You can't really farm here as the POS 1 Bloodseeker anymore, because again, there's nowhere for his team to TP to try and help him out if that happens.
It's just not safe, and he's died there like 2 times now in the same area. Has to respect the aggression coming through from Summit. They managed to scout out now. Trezam looking into the triangle, sees some stacks. Should be able to force his team to collapse onto that point. And again, you've already got that DK Blink. Great reveal from Crush. Aqua Saber coming through from Unknown next into the BKB more than likely. And you're also seeing Mercury with a full Eternal Shroud. Did not have that in the last fight. So bursting him down with magic damage now even tougher. Should expect even more sustain out from Lesh. Just super scary. If Summit manages to find another angle for a 5-man Fatal Bonds with Lesh right in the middle, it's just not sustainable. Although, they catch Crush.
They have Crush. He'd be a decent target, and well, this time around, they'll have the damage to take him out. So a nice kill here for Neon. That'll buy the blink for Chuan, and he might need it as there might be another team fight to break out. Ward's down already here from Summit. Neon, they are posturing. Oh, Enryu, you don't run up that way. They saw the Grimstroke, Say's already in trouble. Still, they're going to go in with the double siphons and X's and pop, but now the Golem is going to be there. Still, they'll go for the fight. It's a lot of damage for Neon. They've got one down already, as Mercury might just follow, and does. Die to the neutrals, but now Fortune in big trouble. Getting taken down by Unknown. Can they find a bit more at least? They'll get Trezam. Not too bad for Neon. They lose their POS 1 and POS 3, but they're still going. After Unknown now, who's been left alone on the CK. He'll try to heal himself up on the neutral camp, but Avatar Mode just continues to chase him down. A smoke up to try and chase down the CK even quicker. As Avatar Mode's continuously slowing him down with the Witch's Blade, and now Chuan is going to cut them off, take down the CK. Unknown's gone, into more now. Crush, he's going to rotate on the Dragon Knight, but the Inkswell is going to buy a bit of space for Chuan, but in comes even more help. This Crush going to keep going after the Tiny. Chuan, he should be okay to eventually blink out of this. And it looks like he will.
Yep, manages to bail out, and this time Summit's over-aggression is starting to get punished. They don't have any of their defensive items up yet. You kind of do want the BKBs to be up, at the very least, maybe on your CK to prevent that rundown from Neon. And they are playing really nicely with that tiny blink timing. They've got great ways to break the coil, follow through initiation for the puck of Avatar mode. So Summit, maybe it's time to slow down the run just a bit. You are still
Crush.
clumping around. Oh, Crush.
Nice way to set up again, John. They got the DK last time around. However, Chuan, he's the one to get caught. It might be a 1-for-1 to start things off as Chuan. He's going to go for a bit of a run out, but won't make it. Instead, though, onto the Dragon Knight they go. And, well, Summit, they have gone too far once again. Neon constantly punishing all these aggressive movements. And I realize they have a nice power spike here, Summit, but you've still got a CK Pos 1 to rely on later on. I don't know if it's necessary to throw this many lives the way of Neon.
Yeah, they're definitely just forcing out too much aggression and giving Neon some openings. They lose their network lead only down to a 1k standing for Summit, not the biggest amount. But they are getting some space out for the CK. It's just you're sacrificing this progression now on your DK. He is going for the Sanj into Halberd. Sanj already up. The Halberd is going to be nice, especially against Fortune Soul, so you're cutting off a lot of the output of the Bloodseeker in that fight. But now Neon, they've got their own BKBs, BKB up on Enryu. We talked about this last time, Mike. Death Prophet with BKB, very hard to deal with, cuts off Mercury's damage output, and you're not at the point where Unknown can deal with BKBs either. Like, he's still far away from level 20, piercing spell immunity. So this is Neon's timing now, and they'll go for their own smoke plays.
Fortune, not again. He shows up for a second. Had that left track been 1 second later to that creep wave, they would have had a Bloodseeker on their hands. Neon, they're going to try and push their own advantage now into the mid-tier 1 tower. Enryu can get this done very fast with the level 2 Exorcism, and looks like he will do so. There is going to be a glyph forced out, but that's only going to delay things just a little bit. Still, there are more rotations coming in from Summit, though I don't think they can really fight here. There's Chuan. Already taking down CZY. And they got the mid-tier 1 tower, no problem. Another decent looking game for Neon. Can they keep it up though?
And they're about to hit some good spikes beyond just that DP BKB. Fortune Soul's already farming up to that point as well. And Summit, for their part, they're really not. Like, CK is going for Sanj and Yasha. Or DK again is going for the Halberd.
Coil.
Nothing queued up. Oh.
They've got the left track, but the Golem is going to be dropped. It lands on 2 though. Mercury still in huge trouble. Avatar mode's really setting up this game quite nicely for Neon. His Unknown does show up, forcing the BKB up from Enryu, but that's about all he's going to get out of this. You've got to love the way Avatar mode's played this puck though, John. Feels like he really is setting up along with Chuan every single good engagement they've had, and you can't underestimate the damage output of this puck either. He's hitting like an absolute truck right now.
Yeah, the combination's working out well. They're managing to find Summit either declumped too much or clumped up too much together. They're not finding the ideal position here on Summit to kind of take these fights in their own stride. They're just farming up while they can. I don't know if that investment will work out. Again, without a quick BKB on some of these cores, it just feels like you're not going to be able to stand up against that magical burst. I mean, you could still go for the BKB here on Mercury. He hasn't queued anything up. He just has 2.6k gold sitting in the bank account. So you really do want to see that expended now from Mercury's end. Again, a BKB on Lesh with the Eternal Shroud could be a good way of mitigating some of that control and damage. But you start to worry, because down the line, Fortune Soul with BKB and just a Shard, it's such a good way of dealing with DK and with the CK that you are a bit concerned about giving that timing away. And for Summit's sake, I think they just have to prevent this bleed out now. If they can stall, keep equilibrium for the next 5 minutes, that's when the game can feel a lot better for their end. I mean, you still have scaling here, Mike. Ags down the line for CZY. Never forget that demonic cleanse and purge with the charges. The shard as well for CZY, of course, is perfectly balanced. So maybe just get that gold flowing and prevent further losses is the name of the game here for Summit.
Oh, I love the SD shots of the Ags. It's just so busted. Summit, they're going to go right into Roshan. This is not something they should be able to get away with. Like, you do have a spike, but it's just the shards of the Warlock right now. Halberd up on the DK. Have we got a BKB on CK? Not quite. But they're getting away with it for free. They just walked into the pit, There's no vision from Neon. They have no idea it's happening.
Where are they going?
They're walking onto the other side of the map here, John.
What?
They just had no clue. Chuan, he's going to jump in, but there's no toss target. Disruption up onto the CK. They might find the Warlock at the least, and they will. In fact, they even found the Aegis on the left rack. It's a decent start for Neon, but they'll lose Chuan immediately as now Enryu pops his BKB out with the Soulbind. They should have a good team fight to go. Fortune Soul, he'll take down the left rack a second time as they've got the Dragon Knight. They'll take another. It's only Unknown left. He's going to try and man up here, but he is completely surrounded and eventually should just drop here to Neon. So it's going to be a full team wipe out. They get away with a free Roshan, but they still end up dropping the team fight. Make matters worse here, Trezam bought back as he had Golem off cooldown after he died, but he won't be able to commit anything.
Yeah, I'm just super curious about why Summit are opting to itemize this way. Like, again, last game we saw them go for triple early VKBs on their cores, lining up that timing very nicely. Here, it's just not there. Mercury's going for Sanjin Kaya. We're seeing the Sanjin Yashadan on our CK going to the BKB now. Of course, the Halberd on our DK as well, going into the shards. And they need BKBs. It's just a matter of spell immunity. If you can cancel off that Avalanche Toss combo with a Dream Coil, if you can just remove the factor of Dream Coil entirely, you have really nothing to worry about here on Summit. But now it feels like they should start to worry. Fortune Soul has his shard. With the BKB, he can just stand, hit away on the CK, on the DK. It's not very comfy for Summit. That's percent-based damage, as we talked about from the draft there, Mike. And it does feel like the Summit's really bled out too much. And we just mentioned, they can't bleed out any further. At the least, you have Kaya-san, Sean Mercury. It's no BKB. I don't know why no one's going for that spell immunity outside of the CK. It just feels like even with all the stat resist in the world, even with all the spell shields you have with Eternal Shroud, you're still going to melt if they focus in on you.
Absolutely, I do kind of agree with you on that. It is very confusing, this item build-up from Summit. Like, it feels like these team fights would be infinitely easier with the BKB up, but well, they are certainly prioritizing status resist instead here, and it certainly isn't really helping their cause right now, that's for sure. Great news for Neon, though. Again, they've got a decent lead, 4k net worth their weight. The map is certainly under their control, and as I say that, Mercury's way too far forward again. He should get punished so easily here as Chuan is going to jump in. Disruption is out though. Unknown going to try and punish Chuan now as a big golem drop is there from our Warlock Trezam. Setting up, but there's your Soulbind. Look at the damage output. They've already lost Mercury, and they'll lose Unknown to boot. Fortune Soul just hitting like an absolute truck right now. CTY. Oh, he barely gets out in time. They just can't fight 5v5 like that. Even with all the AoE control they have, they've got to have these BKBs available. And at this point, Fortune Soul's hitting so hard, you wonder if even that's enough.
I think it still is. It's just a matter of, again, stopping that lead out. They force another fight. Mercury steps so far forward to just farm up and threaten the tier 2. It's a very defensible position out from Neon. And Neon now with a 5k lead, and they're feeling good. Right? Like, they've been getting good value out of the Soulbinds. They've been getting some great coils out from Avatar mode. The Avalanche Toss combs are so disruptive from Chuan. And you're asking a lot from your Disruptor to try to save you with a Disruption. You can only save so many Pyros for so much time. The windows are still open for Neon. And as long as Neon don't end up somehow being out of position and giving that lead back, it does look like they'll be able to drag this into game 3. Still Summit going for a smoke play here. See if it amounts to much.
Here we go. Neon, this could be another great team fight for them. Chuan, he's in again. He breaks the smoke out, and the Dream Coil going to land right onto Mercury and the Warlock. They just need to make the jump in. Split Earth is there. Nice rift down to the low ground. Enryu, he's still very tanky with the BKB. He should be okay, but he's running a little bit low on mana now as Fortune Soul. He does get Mercury down. Trezam, he will be the second to drop as they are still trying to chase down this DP. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, Crush is trying to take down this Bloodseeker, but Fortune Soul, he's just fine as Avatar mode's cleaning up. He found CZY. Now Unknown's are sitting dark. He gets trapped up. Tossed back into Fortune Soul, who's still man fighting, though he does die in the Bloodseeker. But Crush, he's been left alone here on the Dragon Knight, and eventually they'll have their way with him. There's no way out, surely. He's still trying with the fireball damage, but he's actually quite tanky. Chuan? No, he's not going to go down. They've got crushed. It's a full team wipe once again for Neon. A great start, but it feels like so much focus was on taking down Enryu with that team fight that they just didn't have the damage for anyone else.
Yeah, it's just, again, very scattered. They have no way of sustaining themselves up front. There's nothing defensive from Mercury. Like, just the Eternal Shroud, not even something like a Yule. It's to stall out the fight more, get some damage out with a Pulse Nova and the Edict running. Again, I don't want to keep repeating myself here, Mike, but a couple of BKBs would sort this out. And that timing's still far away for any hero. You are seeing a BKB queued up now from Crush and from Unknown, but it does feel like Neon's managed to find a lot. Now, as long as they hold their high ground, I suppose that could be enough stall time for Summit to get the build-up they need. But they have to prevent this build-out. Because they saw Chuan blink in, and then they backed off. They were under smoke. Chuan blinked into them blind, and they backed off. They could have just killed Chuan right then and there. Their instant decision was to just pull back, and that gave Chuan enough time. That gave Avatar Mode enough time to come back in. And they need to be snappier with their choices and maybe recognize when they have an advantage when they use that smoke.
No, I 100% agree with you, and I think it really does go back to the BKBs not being there. Like, they're just not confident. And the problem is now, John, you might buy BKBs, but Avatar Mode's 3 levels away from piecing those BKBs with Dream Coil. So it may not even matter. Because now, look at this. Avatar Mode, he's right in. Trezam barely being saved for now, but not for long as he's dropped the Golem. Do they get anything out of this? Enryu, he just pops his BKB and runs. Avatar Mode, he's out of range. They've got vision for the team fight as well if they want it here, Neon. They'll make the jump in. Avatar Mode, he's gone a bit too far though. He might get punished, and he does. That's a godlike spree to go the way of the Leshrac. They pop the Exorcism. They're going to try after the Lesh, but is he dead? He's going to try and fight. Mercury is going to go down. Unknown, once again in trouble. There's a stun out from Crush. So they do get the puck, and that is somewhat worth it for Summit. Man, I really don't want to say BKBs again, but if you had BKBs, you just turn around. Every time.
Don't care as much. Especially the Lesh. I think Lesh BKB is so big here. Like, you wouldn't just melt in front. We're seeing how fast Mercury just melts at that output. And again, Summit just... They force these fights, and they find that kill in Avatar Mode. It wasn't even off the back of the Chaotic Offering, which is now a massive cooldown that they can't play with. Rosh going to be up in 20 seconds. If it's a quick Roshan on that timer, they won't have Golem drop in the middle of these fights. They rely so much on that Warlock for wide AoE control that just lacking that tool could give Neon access into the pit relatively easily and start to secure tools for going into the high ground. Like, look at Fortune Soul here, Mike. Mjolnir fully up, into the Basher next, into the Lincolns for some protection from the Halberd, or even just from the Demonic Purge. Summit are running out of tools. He goes for a blink on Mercury.
Yeah. I mean, it's an interesting build-up here from the Lesh. I guess they just don't see the value anymore. Again, like, the Dream Coil is going to be breaking through BKBs rather soon. Just 2 levels here for the puck, and Avatar Mode's going to have the answer to the BKBs anyway. I still think it's very useful here for the Leshrac, just to even just not allow Chuan to control him every team fight. See how it pans out for them. There's 1 BKB now on the CK at least, John. Happy days?
Yeah, it's all about timing now. You have to kind of try to not be caught in the Dream Coil and dance around that. Otherwise, everything else is kind of manageable. Neon, smoke, quick Roshan, 40 seconds away. Nice. So would want to take a fight into the pit. They've got the Basher up here on Fortune Soul. So your Bloodseeker's pretty fully kitted out here, Mike. He's pretty scary, can bash on command.
Smoke.
BKBs are actually not going to matter much.
This team fight's going to matter though, John. Avatar already breaking his smoke, does jump in. Very aggressive jump in, and here comes Chuan now onto the ST, and they've already got him. That's CZY gone. Onto Unknown, he's already popped his BKB trying to fight, but they've lost the Leshrac now. Oh, and they've got the Dragon Knight trapped up. Golem's going to do nothing. Meanwhile, Unknown's chasing Chuan. I mean, look, I'll be frank, John, if you're going to coordinate like this, you may as well call it. It's just a mess. And Neon's got this game in the bag at this rate.
Yeah, they've got EXO running, they've got high ground, no buyback. Call? I don't understand. These And these are some wild games. Game one, Neon called up a bit early. They had buybacks for the defense. You know, maybe they were like, all right, we're a bit too behind. In this game, Summit were so far ahead. Well, not so that far ahead. To be fair, Neon were keeping up nicely, but it felt like they had this opportunity to build up, to get that snowball spike, to look for the same item timings from game one, look for the triple BKBs in the cores, run in, force these fights. They were getting some good smoke aggression out. They were getting Fortune Soul kept down on that bot area, and until they got punished, and they kept doing it again and kept getting punished. And I think Summit has to respect Neon. Neon, you know, even if they're not fighting for anything in this match, because they are out of Div 2 no matter what. Right?
Yeah.
Even if they find that win here, they are number 8 or number 7. That's the only deciding factor, whether they're 8 or tied for 7th. But Summit has so much more to play for. And maybe that pressure is getting to them, you know, thinking that, all right, we're maybe going to be safe. We're maybe going to stay through another tour after going through open qualifiers. They can't get ahead of themselves. They have to respect that Neon's still a strong team in the right circumstances and still show us that they're a team deserving of staying in Div 2 here.
No, we'll head off to a very short break, John. I've got to really think about how that game number 2 went down. Very, very strange stuff. But we're going to head off to a very short break, and right after the break, of course, we're going to have game number 3 here between Summit Gaming and Neon Esports. We'll see you then.